Birds of Prey #2. I'm here with my man, Matt. What up, Matt?
What up, Jim?
What up? And you have caught up on this book. It's one of those easy ones. It's the second issue since this is Birds of Prey #2. But you actually do like it. You ended up reading both issues, and you're a fan of it. You said to me that you might even want to marry it eventually, but we'll have to see if that's allowed down the road. But it is Birds of Prey #2, written by Kelly Thompson, art by Leonardo Romero, colors by Jordi Belair, letters by Clayton Coles. And one of my big complaints in the first issue is you set up this whole play. You end up having Dinah, Black Canary. She's going to set the Birds of Prey team up in the whole play of I got to save my sister Sin. Now, the idea, some people complained, hey, it's not really a sister. Before the whole Flashpoint deal, it was more of a mother-daughter relationship, but they were both with the League of Assassins, and that Sin was being pretty much groomed by them, tortured and trained to take over like a Lady Shiva type deal. And then it was just my problem, though, in the first issue is I didn't think that a lot of people would know who Sin is. That kind of gets rectified at the beginning of this issue, so I appreciate that. But the other thing was everybody in the book knew exactly who, like, you go up to Harley Quinn and say, oh, you want to join me on a fight? No. Hey, it deals with Sin. Sin. I'm in. And it felt like even Barda, like everybody seemed to know Sin, and that threw me. And so I also said, I think that and you did concentrate a lot on Harley in the first issue. And it was weird, like Sin is not many people know Sin. You also have Zealot on the team. Pretty cool. Not many people know Zealot. You know, Big Barda even, people do know her, but they're a little less than Harley. So kind of why aren't you giving us the things that I think people need more of? You actually do get that in this issue. I like this issue way more, and I still love the art. I think the art is so cool. The coloring is unique. Classic. We were talking about the coloring, but it does make it feel classic. It actually makes it feel classic, and in that way, it's also grabbing a lot of stuff from the Gail Simone Birds of Prey. Kelly Thompson writes a bit like Gail Simone. There's some jokes. It is a little more lighthearted than a lot of other books, and you have Harley in it, who's going to kind of lighten things up anyway. And if you're annoyed with Harley, I don't think there's anything a writer can do except not have her on the team. If she's in the book, this is what you're going to get. And you even said to me that you thought there was a lot less of Harley, and you could kind of deal with it a little more.
Yeah, she's not over the top. Like, I hear you talking about a lot of issues with her where she just destroys the book because it's too much, but this one's not like that. And
she destroys her own book.
Yeah, exactly. That's the worst, that one. Yeah.
And that's the thing. I still think you tend to get it even in this, but not as much. Like my whole play is that if you have Harley in a book, you always end up needing Harley to be Harley. Oh, we got to get this part. But like you said, there's just kind of little jokes. Now, overall, again, Kelly Thompson coming from Marvel, at points, this has a Marvel feel with the jokes, even the Marvel cinematic stuff. It does have that feel, but it's kind of what we're getting in a lot of these. And I still think, and I was talking to some people this week, when I end up saying, I like Kelly Thompson, me and Double A-Ron, at one point were like, we were going to set up the booster club for Kelly Thompson. I'm not that hip now. She's had a couple things that I haven't loved, but she's still better than Teenie Howard. She's still better than Jadzia Axelrod. She's still better than Michael W. Conrad. She's not bad. She's actually a step up above some of the nonsense that we have at DC. So I'm glad that she is doing this. I really liked her Black Widow book. And so when you get into this, I enjoy it.
Yeah, she did West Coast Avengers, too.
West Coast Avengers, again, that's what this reminds me a bit of with the jokes.
You're right, though. This could be any Marvel. This could be a Marvel book. You just change the characters around and it would work.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Like at one point, it would be them Marvel going to Kelly Thompson say, hey, get a bunch of female. We want a Birds of Prey here at Marvel. And it would have been kind of the same. Yeah. Though, if you end up having Jeff the Land Shark show up, because we do have sharks at the end, I'll kill somebody because I don't need that. I love Jeff the Land Shark until I didn't. Way overdone in that West Coast, and then since has his own Infinity comic.
Yeah, because
I'd like Brodok. He made me giggle. But what were you going to say?
This could be it could just be Kate Bishop instead of Black Canary. I think would be a good.
And it would work completely.
Yeah.
You could, we could at some point, and we'll keep doing this together. Next issue, if we remember, we'll come up with a team that it would have been. if it would have been at Marvel.
Because I'm take some time. We could figure it out.
You can get some stuff really easy. Gabby would be on. Gabby would actually probably be Sin. I'm already starting. Oh,
maybe Laura and Gabby both.
Yeah. It'd be crazy. So you end up where you do get that background, and it's just to show you that, oh my goodness, this Sin, pretty cute. Like, that's all it is, because they're going to save her, but we haven't seen her. Most people don't know her. So what Kelly Thompson does is make her endearing. Oh my God, this little girl. Mm-hmm. Oh, geez, why would it be so funny? Because this is years ago. What happened if they get to Themyscira to save her, and all of a sudden we see that she is now a goth, crazy, dark. She's writing dark poetry. She's at the hot topics.
It's going to happen.
But you end up with the jokes here of like not giving you that much information, more of just giving you the feel of, man, I want to save this cute little girl too. She doesn't deserve this. And then talks about hot dogs. And then at one point the joke is, can I ask you something? Okay, as long as it's not about Pokemon. Oh, never mind then. Very, very Marvel-esque joke. It really, I'm telling you, that joke right there. And I know that we're talking, this is something that I have to try to stop even when I'm doing the manga stuff, not talk about Marvel and DC. But I will say that feels like Gabby right there. So I'm going full Gabby. But
this is Gabby and Laura talking then, if you put it in Marvel perspective, yeah.
But it's okay. So you go in, and I know that there's going to be people later on in the podcast, we're going to do Fire and Ice, and I know everybody's going to attack me. But when you're in this going, if it gives you a smile, go with it. Don't end up just being angry before you start reading and try to figure out ways to keep being angry. I have been guilty of that at points, but I'm done with it. Sweet time, fun Jimmy now. But here we go. We go back to Gotham and the current deal where they're getting the team. They already have the team together. That's the thing that also they ended up, Sin, I'm in. Now they have to say, oh, well, what's this about? Now nobody wants to be involved. They're like, we're doing a kind of a repeat a little, because the first issue was recruit the team. Now it's keep the team still recruited, but then everybody's going to go off and get little magic trinkets and things. Some of them that seem related to a plan, some of them that seem personal, but you end up having Zealot like, I'm not down with this, because, again, they're going to go to Themyscira. Dinah said at the end of last issue, that's what we're doing. We're saving Sin from the Amazons, Themyscira. Dinah ends up getting a little more into it, which I wish that we would have had a little more of, the idea that, and being coy with a lot of things. Well, remember Sin, the one you wanted to join in to save? She is going to be taken over by a magical entity that happens to be on Themyscira. The Amazons, they think they're doing well. Brought her to Themyscira, it's going to destroy everyone, including the Amazons, and the whole world's going to be blown up, whatever. Mm-hmm. Pretty big mission there. And I like to, at points, Kelly Thompson plays it smart, where all of them are worried. They don't want to kill Amazons.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't even get that far. I don't want to fight Amazons.
No way, because you'll lose.
Yeah. So they talk about some things like, hey, why don't you go and talk to Diana? Why don't you go talk to the Amazons? And Canary says, well, if we do end up asking Wonder Woman and she says no, then we're screwed. This is the idea of asking for acceptance or forgiveness. And as a kid, don't go. Do whatever. Like, if you're going to buy something on your dad's credit card, just go for it. He's not. And then just hope that the punishment isn't that bad, right? You begged out of that. That's what they're doing. Now, I'm asking you right now, with what we know so far, do you think Diana would ever say no? If you went to Wonder Woman and said, listen, that's my sister, quote, however you want to go with the relationship, that's my sister. Yeah. By the way, we have maps from the future, from Gotham Academy maps, Meridian, who has seen the future, and what you're doing is going to kill all the Amazons. Everything's going to blow. Do you think Diana would say no?
I don't think she would,
I think she'd say yes.
There's that small chance.
I like the idea, though, that when she go more with the being busy with, fighting the U.S. Say that, listen, she's distracted. I can't really get a hold of her. She's having these problems. We don't do that and go, because I do think that if you went to Diana, she would certainly help out at least.
Did you like that they tied it in? It in with the current Wonder Woman?
Even say that. And so one of the smart things, the line that I do like, is when Canary just says, listen, I'm not going to lie to you guys, though. You see who I got on this team. We're going to kick ass. I mean, if we have to, I didn't get you for any other purpose. So yes, we might end up, but hopefully the plan works out that we don't have to kill anybody. At one point, I said Zealot walks out and you have to have Canary go back in. I wanted to have this because Canary goes out, says, Zealot, what's going on? You're here because you owe me a favor. Zealot says the favor didn't involve killing Amazons. This is bullcrap. I'm out. No. Give me it. Let me explain. And she says, you have 2 minutes. This meeting definitely goes on more than 2 minutes. I wanted her to leave. Time's up, bitch, and leaves.
If you notice, there's a lot of favors that are thrown around in this issue, and they don't talk about what they are. You got to find out later. It's kind of interesting, I guess.
Maybe interesting, or maybe it's the idea of forcing things in. The Zealot one's fine, but then Dinah goes off to get a favor from Constantine, who then has a favor from him.
And King Shark's in there with Harley.
I think Harley just bullies King Shark. Even the favor is, whatever. But that works out anyway. Because the Suicide Squad, they've been on the Suicide Squad together, so that plays out. And I actually think that the play could have been even funnier with Harley, where everybody else has favors. She's just going to call King Shark because they're buddies, but she's trying to be tough like everybody else. Didn't play like that, but it would have been pretty funny. But you're right, though. It's like Constantine. How do we get him in this book? Well, he does favors for you, so you just throw it in there. It's okay, but I don't know that having Constantine really impressed me in this book, though it does continue that there would be maybe a lot of guest stars going, but it's just to get to the magic underground. And then it's weird that everybody joins them anyway, because at the end of this, they all decide, all right, we're going to go. I'm really shocked that nobody asked Harley what her plan might be. I mean, you're there, and we talked about the idea that Harley's the wild card. That's why she's on there. They said it. Like, man, when things are going one way, she'll do the crazy thing. But to get to Themyscira, I don't know that you rely on the wild card. You need a solid plan. I would ask what it is. It almost plays out like everybody's plans are secrets wrapped in an enigma with a whisper down the lane. But
it's just the storytelling. And if it was real life, they definitely would ask her, what's your plan? Tell everybody right now what it is. But of course they don't.
And even then, you could have had Cass wanted to know afterwards. Harley's hey, well, what is your plan? And she's like, I ain't got no plan. At least, but she does. She actually does have a plan.
Because it's almost like Harley just wants to raise her hand just to get attention, and doesn't really have a plan, but she ends up having a plan, so it works out. But
because she uses a second Tombstone reference me and you have had today as we're talking, but also she does feel a little left out because she does have a plan. And they just ignore her because, again, it's
nobody's taking her seriously.
But I also like, because I love the art in this.
That's great.
The coloring time, the weird colors of the faces making that classic look, that's fine. But I love that you do actually see Barda's height when it's Harley trying to jump up in the panel because she is being ignored because Barda is huge. I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, when you go off, Meridian ends up, hey, good luck. They set this, we're going to head off to Themyscira tonight and see you at the beach, and it's East Docks midnight. Everybody's gonna meet.
Yeah. East Docks midnight. I got it. Yeah. I'll see you there.
She's like, whatever. I'm out, and then leaves. So at that point, you do have a hard cut that maybe was a bit confusing at first. Where at one point, then Dinah tells Barda and Cass they have to go to Chicago Boom Tube and get an urn, but that's not really well played out. They're just going, I'm no Aaron girl, I'm Big Barda, but let's go to Chicago. That kind of works out in a weird way to get them back to where everybody is at the end. Everything kind of gets tossy-turvy here because then you get Zealot, who's just going off on her own, heading towards exactly where everybody else is heading as well, trying to get some sort of trinket that she needs. Harley then chases her down after yelling on the phone, which will reveal it's King Shark who's going to get the plan. Not really a crazy way to get to Themyscira, but he can control the sharks and the mastodons around it. Okay, it works. I don't mind that. And King Shark looks great at the end. He cracks me up. And then you do have Dinah go to Constantine. So she's there with Constantine. She's calling in a marker. We got to get this marker. We don't know what it is. That's like there's always these mysteries so far. So I hope that it works out. But I don't love that kind of storytelling where, hey, I got to get this, but we don't know what it is.
Yeah, she's going heavy on that in this.
And weird in it is that it's not even seemingly looks like it's something specifically for them to use in the moment, because when they do end up getting it, she tells Constantine to go give it to Ollie. Now, is she going to go meet Ollie before she goes there? I don't know. But Constantine, again, cool. You end up the magic deal. He's always got his nonsense going. But they end up down in the Magic Underground, and you end up with this guy, the broker. Mm-hmm. And when he shows up, he looks like Dr. Bombay from Bewitched, which I told you makes me laugh. But also right away, you know he's bad. I mean, when they get there, Dinah doesn't even know what this place is. You end up seeing, this is, Diagon Alley. We're full of Harry Potter, right? And she's like, what is this? Oh, this is the, black market underground magic place. But yet she knows the broker right away. Oh, that guy's a sleazeball. This guy's reputation gets around. I'm a sleazeball. A lot of times your reputation as a sleazeball will get around. Eric has told me. He knows living that life. So you end up where they go in. Again, if I'm asking you why and what happens, they end up where Constantine says, I want my, bag of goodies. And the broker, oh, okay, well, let me get this. Oh, Constantine, you vulture, you piece of crap. And gives Constantine the bag. Is it there? Constantine, well, some of it's missing. Like, there's some weird plays, right? Like, why say that? Some of it's missing, and maybe it'll play out, but some of it's missing, but it'll do. Oh, no, like, what is the play? What is I'm just asking you, what is the barter doing at this moment, and what will he accomplish from this?
I guess he just wants to take it back. I don't know, whatever's in there.
Constantine leaves. So where is the point where the barter's like, oh, crap, all right, get back here, yellow juggernaut-looking columns, like, it's weird.
Man, it's just fighting practice for them, I guess. I don't know.
To me, this is why I'm asking, because all it is to me is you want to see the Birds of Prey fight in each issue, so we have to make up a way to do it. It does not make sense in the whole play. Also, is this guy going to get in trouble? He probably can't do this in this, underground magic place. Also, it might destroy his shop. It doesn't make any sense, but it looks pretty freaking good. It looks great. And it's just to have fun with them fighting. And really in this, I think that you actually nailed it earlier, even before. When they get to Themyscira, they're not going to be able to rip apart things. They're probably not going to be able to pretty much, quote unquote, kill anything. Probably can't anyway. So you get these golems that they can just destroy. And then just so happens that everybody in the team has just arrived at this one spot in the underground. With Zealot went down for her thing, but Harley's very interested in Zealot follows her. You end up having Barda and Cass, the urn that was in Chicago. And I even wrote it down because I thought it was funny. Chicago Greg, he doesn't have the urn anymore. He gave it to Magic Nelson, which they end up here. It's like, and they have already gone and grabbed that. Zealot seems to have already grabbed. Everybody was just leaving when they see Dinah. Dinah ends up like almost like she's embarrassed to be seen. Like, it's a weird play.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know why you guys are here, but I'm happy you are.
And it reminds me of like if you went to the mall as a kid, but you had to go with your mom and you don't want your friends to see you're embarrassed that you're there, but then you see each other and hang out and have a great time because they just go to town. Again, it lets you have the team just full page spread.
It shows you how much ass they can kick if they really need to.
And I think that that's a cool play to go into the next thing, which they probably can't kick as much ass.
They're going to have to pull it back a little bit. Yeah.
Barter's just in the doorway. What? Like, if it's you, do it. Me and you are on the Birds of Prey, right? I don't know. They call me Eagle Eyes Jimmy, even though I wear glasses. They do that to make fun of me. And you're like, I don't know, Razor Claw Matt. So it goes with your name. So we end up getting done here. We beat the crap out of these juggernaut-looking assholes. What's the next thing you're going to do?
Go right after that Barter guy.
I'm going to kick the shit out of the Barter. Like, he is going to get the crap
kicked out of him
or
something
immediately. Then I'm going to start yelling because, again, you had Constantine, which was weird that he got sent away anyway. But everything wasn't in the bag. So I would actually have something to do with that. I'd probably grab a couple other things. I'd beat the crap out of that guy.
Take everything he owns.
But at the end, they're just like, all right. And they just get out in a boat. I mean, they destroy these golems and then look around.
They boom tube out.
Yeah. I'd even like it if you had like, I don't know, magic police are on our ass. Like, you could even have a running gag with that they're all, because they just ended up getting in a huge battle. they just boom tube the hell out. So that's where it feels like inconsequential, but I kind of think that we understand why we did it. You did it because you have to have some fights, and it was cool. It looked cool. So then they boom tube, and then you're just there. You know, she does move along at points that I do appreciate. You don't go like, if they went to the dock, Harley would be saying like it would have been like pages of nonsense. So no, they're already just at Themyscira. They already set that up. They're on the boat, and there they are. I don't know how they traveled that far in just that boat. I'm wondering how they got, to this.
That's one of those just inflatable boats with an engine on it. It's not
Again, it feels very Suicide Squad-esque, like they get dropped in, but we didn't see
you get a Jaws reference, too. I thought that was pretty funny, I guess.
The funny thing is, I don't know, maybe people like it still. When you have to explain your reference, it kind of lessens it, but
it's a movie's 50 years old. I mean...
What I think is funny, because when Harley does try to go with it, like she's like, oh my God, you get that? And they don't get it. So I'll give Kelly Thompson. I didn't like that she tried to, but it's funny that she tried to explain it and nobody knew what she was talking about, because it's like, we need a bigger boat, Quinn. Oh my God, just like Charles, like Quinn, I get it. Oh my God. Oh, you don't know what I'm saying. It is fun. And then King Shark jumps out. He explains himself, looks pretty cool with those Speedos. It's like, seriously, what do you got, a salmon in your pocket? Or you're happy to see me? That guy is packed. He comes in huge, too. That's why I like King Shark, and he looks great. And I like where Barda actually, like, steps up. Like, she's eyeing him up almost like, I think I can take this guy. Like, she wants to fight. Also, you mentioned Barda, pretty much a bikini.
When have we ever seen that,
Oh, it's pretty cool. I like, too, like, you end up seeing everybody else, and they're in, like...
scuba gear.
The scuba jumpsuits. Harley has her up. She's branding hers, and Barda's just there. Because she is Barda, and she does not care for any of those nonsense things. She's going to show it. And you have King Shark. The plan makes sense. The Megalodons, all that stuff around Themyscira that they have to get through, which right there is like the 1,000,000,000,000-foot fin. They end up having to, get through it, and he can control them. He explains, I'm the king of the sharks, and I can control these, schmucks too. And now, go a little further. Don't just tell them not to attack or whatever. Make them help you, I would hope, but I don't think that's going to play.
I thought they were just going to hitch a ride inside its mouth or something. I didn't know what they were going to do.
I don't. I just thought they were going to get a plane and just, like, get, like, Waller to help, even though that would be odd. But, all that. But it's weird, too, because they're there on a pontoon boat. You have Big Barda. She's in a bikini. She's there. She's from the whole, New God stuff. You end up having Zealot, Wildcats craziness. You end up having Harley Quinn, who's crazy enough. And at one point, I will say, too, Harley actually senses a bit in that crazy way that how Zealot doesn't really belong in the universe, but didn't. She gets that. And that's like a little aside, which I thought was actually interesting. I thought that was kind of a clever little deal. But all of this, they're like going on with all that crap. Like this is a messed up team. They end up having to go to Themyscira to save Sin, who might be getting possessed by a huge demon. And somehow Dinah has a problem, goes, oh, no effing way that King Shark is going to help him. Like, really? Like, why are you that upset about King Shark? This is the least of your no effing ways. You just fought, juggernaut-looking golems in the underworld magic back alley.
Yeah, King Shark is normal. And now you're
like, no effing way. It actually you almost just got eaten by a giant shark. And yet you almost play off, like, in my mind, she's saying that this is the worst plan ever. Like, oh, this is Harley's plan? No effing way. Yeah, effing way. This is a pretty good plan.
Well, that's what happens when you don't talk to Harley about it until the last possible second.
You also realize that Harley knew what she was talking about, at least to get there. Like, they have to these sharks were going to eat them. They would have been done. Be funny, that big fin. You end up seeing below, it's like a little tiny minnow. Just has to
see now. I just assumed that the Megalodon came with King Shark. I didn't think he would have been there without him.
No, they're there. That's like that's classic Themyscira. Okay. That Themyscira is surrounded by
it. So King Shark is actually preventing them from killing them. Got it.
King Shark showed up and said, hey, now it'd be funny if he's like one of them firebug firefighters, that he actually brought more to make him seem better. But no, when he showed up, that's to stop them, because again, one book will have the megalodons doing that. The next book will have just some asshole fall out of a plane and land on Themyscira, right? You end up different times do different things, but they're going to play that to tie in the King Shark stuff. Now, I wonder if King Shark's going to continue with him because he's kind of funny, but can he go on Themyscira? Do you have problems with that? What now?
Yeah,
we'll have to see.
I guess he's technically a man, so.
I hope that we'll see. If King Shark's like, okay, megalodons, let's roll, and they leave, and he's going. Now I'm going to start thinking that that's what this book is, because Constantine just showed up to, hey, I'm going to roll. Like, you need to have, if you're going to keep having these other characters, I kind of want them involved a little more, but it's kind of cool. I do like it. I actually liked it a lot more than the first issue. I kind of think that you have to get used to what the book is. You get the pacing of it. You kind of see how each thing, we're not going to get a ton of information each chapter, but the things that I was upset at in the first, we did kind of get a little of that in the second, so you just got to keep going with the flow. But they're going to go, we'll see how the Amazons react, how this goes, and I just want to know at the end, like, what is going on with Sin, and maybe is Sin going to join the team, because I would like that as well.
I think so.
I would like to have Sin on the team, see what's that, have a character expand a bit like that, and even play the idea, because should have a connection even with Cass, with the League of Assassins and things like that. So that'll be cool. Again, what we're going to get, maybe, I hope not, but they'll free Sin, and then we'll just have the League of Assassins coming in. So you tie that in, but maybe we'll get better things than that. Yeah. But with that, what would you give it?
I'm going to go pretty high. I had a big smile on my face when I was reading this, because I hadn't been reading it, so happy I am now. I'm going to give it an 8.
I'm going to give it an 8 as well. Yeah. I have a bunch of books this week that surprised me, so I'm sure they'll surprise some other people, of how much I giggled. And I kind of maybe in that position now that's kind of what I want.